Mother speaks. I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary. Well, welcome to Great Mother Speaks. I'm Tammy Taylor, your manifestation muse, and today we're talking about
your Great Mother Speaks March full moon reading. This full moon is in Leo. It is a very powerful full moon. It is the full moon that marks the halfway place of this eclipse season. This is the halfway mark, the pinnacle, the arc, the climax of this season. And we pay attention to the eclipse season here with the lunar readings from Great Mother, our still small voice, that intuition, what we know, because this channel is all about aligning our emotion, that Western astrology, that how we feel energy with the intuitive energy. And in order to do that, we do have to be aware of the difference. So the difference is the emotional heart below energy. That is about survival. That is about the continuum between fear and love, pain and joy. So that kind of relay system from the heart below chakras to the heart above chakras, which are the intuitive realm. It's the realm of the soul. Now, all of our chakras contain the yin and the yang, and so that's what the readings get into. They get into how we are supported energetically throughout these purification seasons, which are what ecliptical seasons are. This one right now with Leo in the North Node and Aquarius in the South Node has to do with following our hearts, that Leo energy, that Great Father energy ruled by the Sun, at the expense or with the group thought as an afterthought. So following one's heart, doing what you want to do first as a priority, and then considering the needs of others is really what this energy is about. It's about us being supported in pursuing what it is our heart, that crossroads between the ego and the soul, wants to do in this lifetime. And so there's been a lot of energy supporting that. Have all of us done a beautiful job at exhibiting that and at communicating that to one another? Perhaps not necessarily, but it's all in divine order, and that's what we focus on here. We focus on our divinity. 3 primary concepts: that we are divine children of the Great Mother, Father, God. The second is that we are therefore never condemned or judged. And finally, we are never left alone. There's always guidance along our path. We use the analogy of the Wizard of Oz to exemplify this. They are black and white cards, symbolizing the yin and the yang, the Great Father energy of the Sun and the Great Mother energy of the Moon, that darkness, that still small voice, that black void of the cosmos, and the Sidereal astrology, which is where Cancer is in the North Node, or Rahu at this time, and Capricorn is in the South. This is very important to know. The Great Mother, Great Father nexus that we're working with is extremely powerful. It has to do with the transition from the Piscean age to the Aquarius age. We are letting go of Aquarius energies that no longer serve us, and we're moving more into Aquarian energies that have to do with personal, individual spiritual expression. And so this ecliptical season is a series of ecliptical seasons that will usher in the Aquarius age in earnest. Great Mother is the Moon, which rules Cancer, the North Node in the Sidereal. The Sidereal astrology is the soul astrology, and this is where you hear me refer to the double houses. So, for example, if you are Leo, then more than likely your sidereal sign is Cancer, unless you're about the 5th of the people that exist that have both. Leo, etc., etc. If you want to double check, be sure to do so at the links below. While you're there, I would also like you to take a look at the Mama Drama Trauma channel. It's just getting up and going. The website is coming soon. But for those of you who are the majority that are here out of the work that I do with Mama Drama Trauma and how Great Mother came through to create this deck and to create this work to heal Mama Drama Trauma. I would really appreciate your critiques and your feedback. The channel and the website that's coming is going to be a resource for you to be able to identify, for you to be able to assess, and to get the materials that you need to support your healing of this condition. Mama Drama Trauma is a condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto her child, causing emotional and/or physical trauma. In cases where she's unable, unwilling, or unavailable to heal, loving detachment is required. Loving detachment is the basis of these readings. And with these readings, we're looking at energies as impersonal energies that support divine beings, our experience. The black and white world of yin and yang is the world of infinite probabilities. It is the world, the source and center of all things. It also symbolizes the farm where Dorothy came from and from which she returned. The yellow brick road, or the rainbow world, technicolor world, is the world of reality and illusion in which we descend into in order to have experiences that evolve our soul. For Mama Drama Trauma, for example, the life lesson for soul evolution is self-love and spiritual independence. Every full moon and new moon is an opportunity to work with energies in order to achieve that here with Great Mother Speaks. For this full moon in Leo, this is the counterbalance of the Leo sun that was active during the total solar eclipse back in August. Although this is not an eclipse, it marks the halfway mark because we have up to this point had the total solar eclipse in August. Before that, the season started in earnest with a partial lunar eclipse at the beginning of August, whose moon was in Aquarius. And we have just had a partial solar eclipse whose moon was in Aquarius. But before that, there was a total lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are always during the full moon. They are cleansing, purification moons. And solar eclipses pull shadows to show us what needs to be looked at. So just this past February 15th, just recently, 2 weeks ago, you might want to check out what Great Mother was saying to you about the shadows that were being pulled out for you. That moon was in Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Capricorn in the Sidereal, and Aquarius, Pisces in the Western. So it was pulling up shadows for us that had to do with that transition from the Aquarius to the Pisces age. Capricorn in the South Node in the Sidereal is a soul indication that now as we are moving into lighter, more soulful energies of Pisces and the Aquarius genius energy of individual expression, which is a higher expression than Leo, but in the South Node and the Western, it's a balancing of paying attention too much to this physical world and being able to relax in the reality of our divinity. If that sounds like a little bit too much, let's unwrap it here and let's talk a little bit more about the rainbow world in which we exist. It's full of planets, it's full of chakras that assist us in the centrifugal forces of these energies in our bodies that ground our soul energy here. What I'm going to do is pull a card for each sign. This is going to be an indication for you of how Great Mother is working with you this March full moon. This halfway mark has to do with this energy going more into self-expression, heart expression, and releasing the group on an ego level, and deeper going into the Cancer, Rahu, North Node level of using that individual expression to be more caring, to have more solidly grounded homes, solidly grounded mothering, self-care, and releasing the need for so much order and so much structure that is resisting or blocking our ability to do so. For your sign, there's going to be a different message that Great Mother comes to you about this particular halfway mark. Because as we move into the rest of the season, which ends in November, we have one more total lunar eclipse in July, and we have a partial solar eclipse in August, closing things out. Now, the season began in earnest back in May of 2017. What was happening for you 9 months ago? An eclipse season is 18 months, so we're at that 9-month mark. What was happening for you and perhaps to you May of last year? Collectively, Venus had just left Aries, and it had been in Aries back and forth with Pisces in retrograde for a couple of months. And when it finally left, a lot of us had come to a realization about some things that we perhaps had known, but the truth was going to take us some time to process, particularly in the areas of personal relationships and what our personal needs were. This was the entry point into this Cancer Leo North Node energy that started in earnest with the lunar eclipse at the beginning of August in Aquarius. What this means is that as the nodes shifted from Virgo Pisces, ordering our emotions into being clear about those emotions, and the purification, which opened up this eclipse season back in August, was purifying what was from the previous eclipse season that needed to be clarified in terms of our spirituality, in terms of our higher knowing, in terms of what we knew we needed in order to have internal balance. And so as this eclipse season opened, I want you to kind of think about where you were with that, because I'm going to pick a card for each sign, and as you listen to your individual readings, see how this theme is playing for you, because this halfway mark marks the will that you will use to move forward. That Leo energy, that gut chakra and sixth chakra energy, aligning that so that now, since the shadows have been revealed and purified throughout this eclipse season, be sure to watch the first quarter video for this year, January through March, if you haven't been keeping up with what's going on, because the second quarter videos are about to be released for April through June. See what Great Mother was saying to you the beginning of this year with regard to where you are now. Because this reading, this halfway mark reading, is very important. It is the reflection of what the cleansing period has been coming up to this point of self-clarity, of self-desire, how to use that in mature and loving ways for yourself and for your home, which is the foundation of outward expression, that Aquarius energy, okay? With now the supportive energies being available for us to implement and to manifest our will from that foundation. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started, sign by sign. Let's see how this works for you. I want everyone to see this because some of you actually will be testing to see what resonates best with you, your Western Moon sign or your Sidereal Moon sign. Again, be sure to check below. Also, you want to be sure to look at how unique we are as divine beings of the Great Mother, Father, God. Our needs truly are taken into consideration. Our uniqueness truly is considered. And as a collective celestial conscious group, in a particular sign, there are energies that we all share and that we are all working through. And that in and of itself is a support. Let's get started. Gemini Moon Sign people, welcome to your March full moon reading. This is a Leo moon. This is third and ninth house energy for you. So we're going to take a look at what loving, supportive energies are available for you to feel your divinity, to know that you are never judged or condemned, and to intuit the guidance that you received and that you receive on a continuous basis from your angels, guides, and ancestors. We're never alone. Those three principles there as we travel along the yellow brick road in the rainbow world of our physical existence. You know, those chakras, that centrifugal force that culminates the source energy into physical form, crystallizing us into who we are. When that happened for you, Gemini moon people, the moon was in Gemini. It was in Taurus in the Sidereal. Perhaps it was in Gemini as well. You want to check the links below to confirm that and to see which reading resonates best with you, the Taurus or the Gemini. It is definitely a personal kind of a journey. We are looking at this eclipse season and this full moon being the halfway mark for you, and where you are receiving this love in along your yellow brick road at this particular time of manifesting your will into the world. This part of this eclipse journey is all about taking what has come up for you since the beginning of it. Just recently in January, which is indicated by your first card in the position of how you were approaching this full moon, there was a cleanse moon that was in Cancer, Leo. That was in your third and ninth house. And so that cleansing that took place during that full moon total lunar eclipse brought up some things that needed to be released regarding your communication of your higher ideals and philosophies. And the recent total solar eclipse showed the shadows that were remaining, and those for you were ninth, 10th house issues. And so there's this ninth house energy that you're working with your philosophies, with your spiritual teaching, your higher learning, long distance travel, places that you're wanting to go, places that you are visiting, particularly how you're communicating and conveying those new ideas in the world. You're approaching this full moon in Leo in terms of your will of asserting those new ideals in the world with a bit of trepidation. A lot has come up for you, and as a result, Gemini moon people, Great Mother is saying that regrounding is necessary. This is the Kali fear card. It's a first quarter moon root chakra card. It has to do with you making the decision to follow your heart, that North Node Leo energy. And that Leo being in your third house has to do with you communicating from your heart. That Aquarius sun that we have now, it's an Aquarius Pisces sun, so it's Aquarius in the sidereal, Pisces in the western, is a sun that is a very emotional sun, and it's shining a light for this full moon on your fears surrounding your philosophies, your fears surrounding what you know to be true. And so what Great Mother is saying to you is that she is acknowledging that has been registered, that emotion has been registered, Gemini moon people. And of course the emotion comes from the western, and so that Pisces sun shining a light, and Pisces being in your 10th house has to do with, your wish fulfillment. And so you're not wanting to be in this place, but just as Dorothy in this scene of The Wizard of Oz is singing somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I once heard of in a lullaby. And so you know that there's a higher thought, there's a higher way of being, there's a higher way of learning, there's a higher way of knowing, but you're not quite grounded in that in this world. And so you're still hearing the murmuring lullaby within yourself. And you know from this eclipse season, through the shadows that have been pulled out of the solar eclipses, and as of the total lunar eclipse of January, the cleansing that's occurred, it's been made apparent to you that there are some new approaches that you have within yourself, and maybe you feel that there needs to be some new things, and you need to go to school. You need to try a new spirituality. Maybe that's why you're here now, and it's just something that you don't normally do. It may be fear-inducing for you, obviously, here. And so you're approaching this full moon with trepidation and moving forward with that will energy of this Leo sun and communication. You're not quite ready to communicate at this time. The sun is in the nakshatra of Shatbisha, and in the sidereal Aquarius sun, we're talking about an energy that has the moniker of 100 doctors. So it's a very healing energy. It's not a hard sun like the Leo sun that was in the total solar eclipse in August, back in August. That was a Leo sun with the same nakshatra of Maha. That is what the moon is in now. And so emotionally, you are feeling this strong need on a soul level, deeper than the emotion, because the sun is in Leo. So emotionally, you are feeling that in the Western Leo, but deeper on an intuitive level, you are intuiting this higher energy of Leo. Maha is the nakshatra of dignified Leo energy. It's a Leo energy that has released the egoic qualities of attention seeking, childlike behavior that doesn't benefit the whole. And so you are in this place where you are really ready to assert this knowing, but there's trepidation about it. Great Mother saying that your transformative opportunity in this, Gemini Moon people, has to do with really allowing yourself to be reborn, really allowing yourself to give up what no longer serves you. And so the fear does not serve you because you are clear about what those new ideas are or what new adventures you want to take to develop new ideas, new philosophies, maybe new gurus that you want to follow. Maybe you want to study the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck. Maybe you want to learn more about numerology and the chakras. Speaking of such, this is a balsamic moon card. That is the download card. So the transformative download moon phase. The transformative opportunity has to do with you actually working with this energy during the balsamic moon, which is right before the new moon. So this card is a fifth chakra card, as we can see with the throat, nose, and ears. You can remember fifth chakra by the ears, nose, and throat doctor. There needs to be a rebirth in terms of you expressing how you feel, in terms of that speaking. And she's saying that even though there's some trepidation, that is also your transformative opportunity, Gemini Moon people, to actually express what those new ideas are, to actually listen to new opportunities of learning. And perhaps if you already know what those new philosophies are, and this journey for you has been more of a cultivation of those, and your trepidation is actually articulating those, she's saying, go ahead and share them. That divine expression. This is the scene in the movie when Dorothy returns home from her journey in the rainbow world of Oz, and she is surrounded by those from the farm, and she's telling them her story. Now, not all of them believe her journey, but yet and still they were all there. Oz, Professor Marvel, the Tin Man, who's Zeke, the Scarecrow, Huck, the Lion, and all of these, the farm hands, there, Hickory, and the fear that you have has to do with people not understanding you. There's a fear that people don't understand you, but that's okay because on a soul level they do. The black and white is about the source and center. Great Mother is the source, the great womb, okay? And, the center, the source and center of where we are and what we're about. And this energy, is really telling us that the center of all of this is our intuition, us tapping into our yin energy, and the source center being birthed with the yang energy is a yin and a yang. The inspiration is constantly being evolved. It's constantly growing from the unction of thought, from the unction of ideas. And that's Great Father, the law, the logos, the word, constantly moving and wanting to change and creating universes upon universes, materializing this inspiration. And so the farm represents that black and white world of the source in the center, and that's why the cards are black and white, is because when we are in the rainbow world that creates experiences of fear, we can always remember, where we came from by transcending that into knowing that regardless of what appearances may be, we are never alone. We just forget. The veil descends and we come down here. We might forget that lullaby from that land that we once heard of. And that's okay. That's part of our experience. But that's why Great Mother has drawn you here today, to reconnect you with that energy, to encourage you to be a part of that energy in ways that you probably have not in the past, but in ways that now will encourage you to act on what you know in your ninth house. Now, these general readings are based on the first house for your moon sign. So Gemini's placement is the first house, making Leo, this Leo moon, your third house. But in your actual natal chart, Gemini might be your eighth house or your ninth house. So I do encourage those of you who want more of a precise insight to have a personal reading. Not to mention the nodal shifts are different for you as well. Your nodal signs will relate to this Leo Aquarius South Node differently. Great Mother is saying that you're facing the challenge, though. So even though there is some fear that you may be feeling at this time, she's recognizing that you are facing the challenge, you are coming through, you are mustering up the courage to do what you need to do to, again, first quarter moon energy. Take action, make a decision, and face the challenge, even though there's some fear. Dorothy reconnected by singing her song to Great Mother, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Why can't I? You certainly can. And Great Mother doesn't want you to overlook that. This is the Sphinx card, first quarter moon in the fifth chakra. Again, speaking that truth. This third house full moon energy in Leo is about you expressing your heart. And when we first change our philosophies and we first change our ideas and we have new approaches to things, it is a little shaky. On the one hand, those around us may be used to us playing a particular role in our lives, and new ideas often shift who we believe ourselves to be and how we perceive ourselves. And so our roles may change. That might create resistance. And another thing that may happen, as we see in this scene of The Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy is speaking to Aunt Em from the witch's castle through the crystal ball, she's speaking to her. She sees and she hears Aunt Em calling her name, Dorothy, Dorothy, come home, where are you? But Aunt Em can't hear her reply, I'm coming home, I'll be there, I'm coming home, Aunt Em. So even though people, again, may not hear your divine expression, Great Mother's coming through and she's saying, express it anyway. Remember, we have the fifth chakra here in the Balsamic Moon card, okay? And the Balsamic Moon card, these are all cards about reflection, regeneration, recuperation, as she's recuperating from her long journey. It is the download phase right before the new moon. So she's saying that between now and the new moon, and particularly the first quarter moon after the new moon that's coming up in Aries, you're going to be able to face whatever challenges that you have now regarding fear. That lion energy in your communication house is going to roar forward in your collective celestial unconsciousness, Leo moon people. This is the collective reading for your Taurus Gemini moon sign. Taurus generally has this energy where you're looking at fourth house with regard to this. And on a soul level, this has to do with home. It has to do with your children. It has to do with particularly motherhood and how you are being mothered. So why is there this kind of blockage that causing you not to feel the love or to experience the loving support that's available? Well, the shadow is a resistance to surrendering to the love and support that's available to you, Taurus, Gemini, Moon people. There's so much love and support available to you that you are questioning it maybe, or just simply not aware of it because you're so tired from doing all of this work, from if you have been working with these energies. And again, you already recognize you have a new philosophy and a new thing to communicate. If you're just kind of coming around to that you're just beginning to realize that there are new things that you want to study, new places that you want to go, then still this kind of angst about that, how am I going to do it? How is this going to happen? All that. Great Mother is saying, just surrender to the process. This is a blockage for you. This worry and this over concern is creating a blockage that doesn't have to exist for you, Taurus, Gemini, Moon people, because this is heart chakra energy. And when we're working with heart chakra energy, the crossroads between the ego and the soul, heart below energy is ego energy. Heart above energy is soul energy. We receive downloads from here, and we receive uploads from the physical body, the earth chakra, the 10th chakra from the bottom. We can forget that we have all of this energetic support, and we can get really tired. This scene in The Wizard of Oz, in fact, is when Dorothy does fall out just before they reach Oz's castle in the poppy field. The poppy field symbolizes reversion back to past behaviors, past addictions, past senses of security that made you feel that you were okay. Maybe there is some drama addiction. A lot of times we can be addicted to certain behaviors, certain circumstances, even though the payoff isn't that great. Let's say, for example, if there's an actual chemical dependence on alcohol, we can say that, okay, well, I realize this, but, it is what it is, and I manage it, the best way I can, and that's that. But when we learn to surrender to it and say that, okay, this is an issue that I don't have any control over, completely Al-Anon, AA, I'm going to invite in the support that I need to get through this and to get to really living the life that I want to live. Whether for me that's complete abstinence, or that's something that, I'm going to be guided and shown exactly what I need to do. There can, in the interim, be an addiction to the circumstances. When I have a drink, the ritual of having a drink, and the payoff of the relationships that you have and that you cultivate, and people that you know. It's predictable. You know what it is, as opposed to the unknown. Many times that is the main thing that keeps us from releasing addictions. That's true with mama drama trauma. Aside from the fact this is your mother, and this is a very painful thing to release, the routine of the trigger for the drama, be it something said, be it something done, it's always that particular thing. And the escalation of the drama to this climactic situation that always happens, and then the, descend from that situation, the anticlimax. And it is a biochemical response in the body that we create, and it's a form of control. It's a form of controlling situations, as we see with the Yemaya card in your shadow position. That is something that's occurring for you that is creating this fear. And so maybe there is some addiction to some approval from others that is preventing you from transforming into being able to express this new divinity, this new higher learning, this new higher philosophy that you have in your life, because other people might not understand or they might not approve. This is when the scarecrow and the Tin Man cry out, help, help, help. Okay, so the brain and the heart, okay, heart above energy, crying out, okay, that meditation, that tapping into Great Mother energy, so that you can get the help that you need, as Dorothy did here, calling and singing to Great Mother, way up high. Someday I'll wish upon a star and fly far beyond the clouds. That's where you'll find me. Sometimes the rainbow road, we get tired, and that poppy field of addiction can kind of pull us back, whether it's an emotional or chemical addiction. And Great Mother's coming through, and she's saying, Gemini Moon people, this is your blockage. This is the fear. Just connect with her, and she's so happy you're here. Aren't you glad that you're here to get this message from her, this unconditionally loving message from her to let you know that it's just a matter of, again, first quarter moon energy, root chakra, regrounding yourself, and heart chakra, pulling it all the way up to the heart chakra, first quarter moon, making a decision, taking action, and facing that challenge, first quarter energy, to speak your new truth, to assert your new desire, to find your new truth wherever you are in that journey. February's new moon brought that up for you in your 9th and 10th houses. 9th house in the Sidereal, again, that higher thought, that higher learning. Our souls are always evolving. That's why we are the incarnation of the exact spot of our soul's evolution at a particular time. That's our birth chart. It's a snapshot of our soul's evolution at the time of our birth. And that calculus in that chart is a blueprint, is a calculus of where the soul has been and where it's going. North node, south node, Rahu, K2 on the soul. And so the soul, with regard to this north node energy from the Taurus, is a fourth house energy. So this whole period until November, since May of last year to November, has to do with the home, has to do with motherhood. And so it may be for you, it has to do with communicating these new ideas to your children. Maybe they're like, wow, mom is changing, what's going on? And you don't quite know how to communicate that. Or maybe you needing to communicate that to your mother. Okay, maybe there's some form of support that you're needing. Because Great Mother is saying that the challenge of this is creating a lot of rage. Rage is suppressed anger. And many times when we go through transformative processes, even though it sounds really great, divine expression, doesn't that sound fantastic? The challenge of it does create a lot of anger. And when we don't know how to work with the supportive energies, such as this Leo moon in your third house, that's giving you a very dignified, mature, kingly Leo quality to express yourself. Take that in. There's great father energy available through this full moon sun to give you the right words, to give you the right thoughts. Great father is the ego energy. Okay, it's really focused on that Western astrology that focuses on that sun sign. And so the sun is in Aquarius Pisces, but it's shining on that Leo moon. Okay, Leo is ruled by the sun. Segment here in the waxing gibbous moon phase is all about revising, refining, reevaluating who and what you are and what you're about. And there's rage about that. This is the scene when Miss Gulch comes to take Toto and Dorothy's not having it. Toto symbolizes Dorothy's intuition in the Great Mother Speaks deck. You're not having it. You want your intuition. You know that since the beginning of this eclipse season, you have learned a lot and you know where you are now. You've had very, very clear experiences. And although you may not have kept track with every single thing, I would encourage you to look at the first quarter report for you, January through March, because April is going to be coming out pretty soon with the second quarter, April to June, what Great Mother's saying to you for the second quarter. This first quarter energy, dancing with this rage, Great Mother saying, in order to reground yourself from this fear, it's going to be extremely, extremely important for you to follow up on that decision to face the fear, reconnect with Great Mother through your soul song. Fourth house energy. What is it at home? How is it as a mother that you are being challenged to communicate your new philosophies? Are your children asking you questions you couldn't answer before? Maybe that's what's sending you to school online here. Wonderful. This is Great Mother Speaks. She dearly loves you. She's all about connecting with her children that are most estranged from her, are most alienated from her, those who have experienced birth mother trauma. After you've made that decision to connect with her, we always have free will choice. Great Mother is saying to acknowledge the rage that you feel. Acknowledge it with her in your soul, in that fourth house energy. that is connecting with this Leo energy from Taurus. You're wanting to ground yourself, but because of the rage, you're unable to do so. Express it. Dance with the music loud when no one is at home. Run as fast and as far as you can if you can. Scream out loud when you're alone at home. Sing in the shower as loudly as you can. Let the energy move throughout your body in ways that you can be involved in consciously releasing the rage so that it doesn't show up for you in inappropriate ways in your life because of this remaining suppressed anger. What Great Mother is saying needs to be released at this time for you, Gemini Moon people, is a resistance to acknowledging the abandonment and abuse that you may be feeling at home or in a spiritual environment that is no longer able to satisfy what your needs are and growth at this time. She's saying that this root chakra for you with security and with safety concerns also may have to do with your finances. And so acknowledge where you are with regard to that. So again, you are releasing a lot of this root chakra energy that's blocking you from feeling safe and secure. It sounds like a small thing, but it's not just saying, I'm a divine child of the Great Mother, Father, God. Isn't that great? It's living it. It's asserting it. It is actually saying, this is where my soul is in my evolutionary development. I am feeling a great deal of rage emotionally from my ego body, this avatar, this incarnated entity that is here for me to evolve. I am uploading from it, third house energy, that it's having a lot of fear around communicating. And as a soul, what I am downloading is that in order to release that, there needs to be an acknowledgement of the abandonment and abuse issues. We're getting to the root of it. And that indeed was the root of Dorothy's issue. She heard it long ago in a lullaby in a land way up high in the sky when she was just a little bitty baby. Maybe her mother singing to her while she was in her womb. Her mother is presumed dead, which is what orphaned her in the film. Okay? And so, are you feeling orphaned, abandoned in some way? Are you feeling abused, neglected, not taken care of, rejected in some way? Which is why it's difficult for you to communicate. You don't want there to be further rejection. What Great Mother is saying, you can release this energetically simply by acknowledging that it exists. Acknowledge that it exists. Acknowledgement is different than just recognizing, again, I have an addiction, I have an issue. Conscious acknowledgement is, okay, these are my triggers, and it's not enough for me to just say, hey, don't do this around me, or I'm going to get upset, or, if I don't have my drink by so-and-so, I'm going to be, Acknowledgement is saying that these are my triggers and I'm working on them. This is what I want you to know. This is where I am right now. Help, like Tin Man and the Scarecrow. Help, help, when she fell down in the poppy field. And that is indeed when Great Mother comes, because we have free will. She was singing her soul song, help. I'm in fear. I'm deciding. I'm making a choice to connect. Hey, you told me that's all I need to do is acknowledge. Help me out. That's what we do over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. And that's what this full moon is saying to you in terms of your will energy coming forward to assert what you have learned through this eclipse season. Begin to ask for the help. And Gemini, communication, remember, there's a yin and a yang to everything. Our greatest challenges are also our greatest gifts. In order to facilitate this release of abandonment, of abuse through acknowledgement, do your connection to Great Mother work. This is the Law of Divine Mother card. This is the Great Father card and the Great Mother Speaks deck, the law cards. And the law cards have to do with yin-yang energies being expressed. This is the double yin card. The double yin card is the yin of reception, but it's also the double yin on top of that has to do with receiving from a deep intuitive level, okay, energetically. And so as we see with the masculated manifestation of Gaia, okay, because in many cultures the earth is symbolized by the male masculine symbology because it is a materialization of Great Mother Earth energy. And so by listening, actively choosing to face the challenge, to listen to Great Mother. The Ankh is in the middle of this card. The Ankh in the Great Mother Speaks deck is the second chakra. By choosing to desire to actually express yourself in a way that allows you to be reborn, okay, giving up what's no longer of service to you, those fears about people pleasing, that rage, it doesn't serve you anymore. It was informative because it helped you realize it's time to surrender, but now that you're acknowledging what you're surrendering to, the abandonment and abuse, that's the way it is. Help me, Great Mother. I don't like this. I'm not feeling loved. I'm not feeling support. I'm a divine child. That's what I'm here to feel. And we know that there's something wrong when we don't feel that way. And that's also how we know whether or not it's Great Mother speaking to us or someone else. Great Mother, her voice is always loving. It's always confirming. It's always compassionate. It's always nurturing. It's always understanding. It's always embracing. Okay? And so she's saying, embody the action that you're going to take by first downloading what it is you're hearing from me. The Dagda, the father of the Gaelic pantheon, the Celtic pantheon, held a heavy hammer, figuratively and in actuality. He was a very fertile man and gave birth to, of course, the pantheon, the muses of most note, of the Irish bard and Brigid of inspiration, which is your outcome card. Brigid. Full moon card is a full moon, Gemini moon people. Great Mother's come totally through for you with this, saying that by embodying that nature to listen to Great Mother energy, that's why he had all of these inspirational daughters. He brought that yang energy because he was very in tune with Great Mother energy. He cooked, he played the harp, he was a warlord, complete masculine balanced energy. Okay, that's what she's saying. Embody that facing the challenge energy with that masculine energy, to face it based on that active decision, okay, that tropical Western astrology, to act emotionally in a way that is balanced based on your intuitive downloads. And how do you know your intuitive downloads? You know your intuitive downloads because Great Mother said they will transform you to be able to have the ability to express your new higher knowing, to do your long distance travel, to teach you, to cultivate you, for you to enjoy your life at this time as you move forward, to communicate more things from a higher perspective, not low communication gossip issues, but sage wisdom. That is the inspiration of Brigid and your outcome for this full moon. Selfhood. This is the scene in the film after Dorothy dissolves the witch with the water. And that's the spirit, isn't it? Water is the spirit, and the spirit is rebirth, sacrifice. Sacrifice is giving up something of value for something of greater value. And the witch had to be sacrificed in order for Dorothy's full value of divine expression to come through. She said, hey, give me the broom, to the witch's guards. May I have the broom? And that's the power. Take your power back, Gemini moon people. Take it back. If you resonate with Taurus, I believe this message is still very important to you on a physical level and a material level. Take your power back. Own your selfhood. Own who you are. And that starts from within. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and sharing. This is a very momentous reading for you, and it's going to take you through the remainder of the eclipse season in ways that you won't even understand at this time. But I want you to take note of what Great Mother's saying to you, to assert your will in a way that honors your higher learning. All the energies are supporting it, including Neptune conjunct the Sun. Follow your highest dreams, and remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit.